Cuba, where Hugo Chavez is being treated for a serious lung infection, is showing the same solidarity. But no pictures of the Venezuelan president have been shown recently in Cuba.
Protests between opposition supporters and police turned violent in Togo after the government there denied the opposition licensing to hold a rally. And one of the most powerful pirates in Somalia announces his retirement. We have details of those and other stories in this African News Roundup.
Security forces were deployed for a second day in the Togolese capital to stop the opposition from holding a rally that the government had banned. The three-day protest, scheduled to begin yesterday, turned violent after protesters threw stones at police who responded by firing tear gas. At least 20 people were injured, 18 were arrested. The activist group Save Togo is demanding electoral reforms. Parliamentary elections were supposed to have been held in October, but were postponed because of disagreements with the government over opposition demands for reform. Joint military maneuvers between Côte d'Ivoire and Liberia have ended. For the last 10 days, Ivorian and Liberian troops taking part in Operation Golden Gate carried out maneuvers along their shared border, where armed militias are active. The goal is to bolster security in the area through the deployment of more troops and artillery to protect the population, which comes under frequent attacks by armed groups. Living in exile far from their homes, these women have stories to tell. They are being heard by Michelle Bachelet, the head of UN Women. These women, who fled the north, describe the humiliations and brutality they endured at the hands of the Islamists, everything from being arrested for not wearing a veil to gang rape.
I have listened to your stories. Human rights abuses of women in the northern part of Mali are unacceptable and must be stopped and punished.
The Chilean president expressed her wish that these women play a major role in the restoration of peace in Mali. Dressed in black and sporting Ray-Bans, he looks more like a businessman than a buccaneer. And yet Mohammed Abdi Hassan, also known as Big Mouth, was one of the most powerful pirates in Somalia. The good news is that he has announced his retirement. He is credited with having launched one of the most daring attacks in the last few years, capturing a Ukrainian vessel carrying arms and tanks. He released the ship for a ransom of $3 million. He has prospered from the trafficking of the narcotic khat. After he agreed to dismantle his network, he received a diplomatic passport.
Well, we now take our second break. We'll be right back. And before we go, a reminder of our top stories. Thousands of Gambians Friday marched to the gates of State House before presenting to President Jammeh a declaration condemning the 17-point European Union demands issued to government for implementation. The Youth and Sports Minister Aluke Jammeh has urged young people of the Gambia to take maximum advantage of the enabling environment created by government. UN Security Council has convened an emergency meeting in response to Bamako's request for help as French forces descend on the rebel-held northern Mali. And protests between opposition supporters and police turned violent in Togo after the government there denied the opposition licensing to hold a rally. That brings us to the end of the news. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned and enjoy our range of interesting programs.
Kekende sateto ya jemenyolia fonyi kanilai Lumbinala Africa belebe no mala Kabring Libya mamanta Ye Africa dinja maleka nandije Ye Gambia alfa jamale hijindi Tuwajabi alfa Ni sunkaro sita Ye Gambia beke sukuroti Imaji ala ela dunia sukuru Baby Mariam le famamu Muhammad le famamu Jungunje medimamu Asommi bojanne dimamu Sene bukema Senen jemele domamu Aral bajemme doma Seni jemme doma Mr. Ambassador Ansu jeme kodoma Babo jane bari mamu Ila kekende